Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to UWE HD, and as you can see, I'm rocking out the headband. Kind of, not really. I'm actually doing a horrible job at rocking out the headband. You can't even say I'm rocking it out. It's quite miserable, actually. But nonetheless, this is your party host. This is the Self-Supremacy Everett Crede, and I'm here to give you the UWE update. Now, just so you all know, this is not an episode of the Credecast, so I'm not really expecting to have any guests on the show at the moment. But, I'm just going to pretty much give you the updates about what's going on with the UWE, what's been happening, and why we've been offline a lot. And now we are back, and we are looking to be better than we ever have been before. As you can see, I'm trying to fix this travesty of a headband incident. I'm trying to really use the camera angle here. But, okay, so let's see what we got. We got one viewer. I saw the viewers kind of like jumping up and down from, one viewer, two viewer, three viewer, red viewer, blue viewer, cat viewer, dog viewer. So let's see what we can get right now. Like you said, if you can, try to promote this on Twitter. Hey, thanks for letting me know. I hope everything... Oh, that was Angelique Stark, the official UW Executive Vice President. She's just been pretty much thanking me so much drama today. Oh shit! I'm sorry, Angie. I didn't mean to air your dirty laundry like that. But yeah, quite a bit going on. There's been a lot going on this past week, and we've been trying our best to get things back on track, back to where we belong. There was a lot of rumors going around that UWE was going to be either on a hiatus or that it was going to be shut down. I am here to decline any rumors necessary. We are not going to be on a hiatus, and we most certainly are not going to be shutting down anytime soon. If anything, we will never shut down. We will retire because we're going to be on top of our game for quite a long time. As you can see, the viewers are really jumping up. So let's see if we have any comments or any concerns right here. HBTW is here. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear from you guys. I actually had a couple of bit of tweets from Jason Walker, so it was good talking with him as well. Backyard Wrestling Entertainment is here as well. That is more than likely hosted by the Black Seth. So good to see you again, and I'm looking forward to when you're going to be a guest on the Credecast. I'm going to refresh my page right now and see if anybody else commented. The CJE has arrived. My good old buddy, the brother man with the master plan, Brother Cam, has arrived as well. So I think we got enough people to really kind of inform you all of what's been going down. Pretty much the latest I was around, I was in the middle of the Backyard Wrestling Fix with my good buddy Cameron Jackson, Mark Williams, and Tyler Emerson was on there as well. And we were in the midst of talking about some backyard wrestling news, and my computer was on 4%. I go upstairs to get the charger, and when I come back down, blue bar screen. And I didn't know what the hell was going on. I wasn't sure what was happening, and I shut my computer down, and when I tried getting it back up, it just wouldn't turn on. I got gray screen. So pretty much I realized, okay, UWE editing is going to be really set back now, and it's not going to look too good. I'm kind of hoping we could just get what we can get. I'm thinking this is going to be out for a month. I'm thinking this computer is going to be crashed for a month time, and I don't know when we're going to get it back. But pretty much, AppleCare, I got to give them, definitely got to give them the props. They got this thing. Not only did they fix the problem, but they updated my computer with a lot of good stuff, and they did not erase any footage. We were stuck on a couple of plans, and the next episode of Lockdown was on this computer, and we weren't sure if it was going to be erased. And if it was going to be erased, I was going to spoil what was going to happen on Lockdown, and then it was up to you if we were going to skip Road to Destruction and go right on to Ultimate Redemption, or if we were going to, tell you the storylines of what's been going on and then give you Road to Destruction. But neither of that's going to happen because none of the videos got erased. So what I'm going to try to do is, I know that we normally upload on Wednesdays, but I want to see if we can give you as much product as possible. So I want to try to get this episode of Lockdown, the newest episode of Lockdown, up as soon as possible. So what I'm going to do is that Road to Destruction is recorded. It is in the process of being imported right now onto the computer. So the next episode of Lockdown is pretty much finished editing. All that needs to be done is commentary. It has to be rendered and uploaded. So I want to see if I can get that up by maybe Sunday night or Monday, because obviously I need Cameron to commentate with me because he's Dale Peppers. So I want to see if we can get the next episode of Lockdown up on Monday, and I want to see if we can get Road to Destruction up by Wednesday next week. So if we can do that, we're back on track, and I think that's really cool. And the Road to Redemption is pretty much what we've been focused on. That's really the main focus of what we're worried about now. We're trying to get any superstar that is booked for a match at Ultimate Redemption or some sort of storyline for Ultimate Redemption to be available. So what we're going to do is that this Sunday, hopefully this Sunday if everybody can attend, is we're going to record all 4 episodes of Wednesday Night Lockdown on one day. And then what we're planning to do, because I've been trying to do this since February this year, is that Ultimate Redemption will be on the 10th. I am notifying everybody about this. Friends, family, UWE superstars, fans, staff. You know, I even got Angie hitting me up about that. You know, just everybody wants to attend on August 10th because that's when we're supposed to record Ultimate Redemption. So as far as what you people need to know right now, because as you can see, we're jumping between 5 and 6 viewers, I want to see if we can get UWE Lockdown up as soon as possible. I need to get commentary done, and I need to get it rendered and uploaded. And then after that, I will be working and editing. Right now, I am importing Road to Destruction onto the computer. And then after that, I will put in the time to edit Road to Destruction, you know, give it a real fancy look to a CPV, and then obviously get commentary done, render, and upload that as well by next week. And then we do the Road to Redemption. Now, we put a lot of time into our other shows as well, but that pales in comparison to what we do on the Road to Redemption. I know that we have never really had a Road to Redemption live on YouTube before, but this is going to be our first one on YouTube. We've done this on 3 other occasions. There's been 3 other there's been 3 other Ultimate Redemptions, and the journey to redemption throughout those 4 lockdowns, the big 4 as I like to call them, is so important, and it's just packed with action-packed drama, storylines, the very best of wrestling, the very best of the entertainment. You're going to be seeing a lot of popular superstars on the Road to Redemption. You will be seeing Rick Rios right now as the world champion. Will he be able to be the world champion by Redemption? He has to survive the Cherubitis Chamber, which you will be seeing next week. Nick Somas will obviously be at Ultimate Redemption since he is guaranteed a title match at Ultimate Redemption. You will be seeing Cameron Jackson, TJ Sakara, Daisy, Lips, Insanity, the Black Bullet, you name it. They're going to be involved. The Dirty Boys, Dirty DeChico and Dirty Dave will be there as well. And it's definitely just going to be, it's like our journey to WrestleMania. That's our WrestleMania. And it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of action-packed drama, and it's just going to be amazing for you guys to watch. I put in a lot of extra time for the editing, and even though we record Ultimate Redemption on the 10th, I'm going to try to maybe upload it in 2 weeks, because I really put a lot into editing Ultimate Redemption. I want to put in the very best show that we could possibly put up. So I apologize that I haven't been looking at comments. I just really want to give you guys the updates and the stuff of everything going on. August 10th will be the day. August 10th will not be when Ultimate Redemption is up on YouTube, because we don't, live stream our actual shows that we record. But August 10th, we will be recording Ultimate Redemption 4, and we're trying our best to see, what we can do with the music, because there's been a lot of issues lately with the UWE as far as the theme songs go for the actual shows. As far as Road to Destruction, well, actually for All Out Survival, there's been a struggle. Because at All Out Survival, our theme song was Jungle, that big, it was this big popular song now, and we had Jungle before everybody else started using it, even the WWE. WWE Shop had it first, but we really had it before they used it for Battleground. We had it before Hercules definitely started using it, and we had it before the World Cup was using it. So now it's a copyrighted song, and we couldn't really add it into our editing because they'll copyright the video, and it won't be available on mobile. And notice how I say mobile like Bane. It's available on mobile. So I know you guys watch it on mobile devices, so it's kind of hard to, show all these copyrighted songs on the videos. Road to Destruction's official theme song was going to be Circus for a Psycho by Skillet, but we're just so afraid that they're going to copyright us that we're not even going to put it in. Why should I give these people credit when they're not going to even let us play their music? It makes no sense to me. The whole idea of copyright music doesn't make any sense to me. The fact that you are muting your own product so that people will not be able to view your own material, that makes no sense to me. If I'm a musical artist, I want to have people use my stuff because then I get more popular. But the whole idea of copyright makes no sense to me. So the official Ultimate Redemption theme song is originally supposed to be Big Time by Peter Gabriel. No, we're not really doing it to rip off WrestleMania 22. It really tells the story of us because we were this small town in Bayshore, Long Island, New York, and we've been working so hard to make the UWE an elite brand. And now this is our chance. This is our time to make it to the big city. This is our time in the spotlight. This is our big time right here. And that's why I wanted to use Big Time by Peter Gabriel. But the issue is copyright. How am I supposed to use that song under copyright infringement? And it's just going to be very difficult to do. I even created banners. Like, the official banners you see when we do the shows. Like the All Out Survival one was like that Indiana Jones map and the red font. I created like a font, like a whole wallpaper for a theme song. You know how the WWE does that as well. Road to Destruction with the whole purple fog in the water. I created a font, not a font, a banner or a thumbnail, if I should say, for the poster. It's like Road to Destruction theme song and a picture of the album. It looks so sick, but I'm not going to use it because it's copyrighted. So I created one for Ultimate Redemption with the Big Time thing with Peter Gabriel, but I don't even know if I'm going to use it now because it's copyrighted. So what's the point? So starting after Ultimate Redemption, which our next pay-per-view after Ultimate Redemption, I believe, is going to be Thunderstruck. We're going to start using uncopyrighted theme songs, or we might use copyrighted theme songs with a pitch change. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but pay-per-view themes are so important, especially with building up the show, so it's been an issue with that. HBTW, boy, I know how that music thing feels exactly right about copyright. Exactly. I don't understand why they don't let us use their stuff. You're trying to get out there to any bit of community whatsoever. So why are you not letting us use your own material? It makes no sense. I don't get it. Do people not realize that YouTube is the way of music now? That's really where people find the source of music. It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. So pretty much, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, I will definitely be here for. I'm going to keep this going for a little bit. I'm not going to have a 3-hour stream like I do on the Creedcast. I mean, I'll probably keep this going for maybe another, maybe 45 minutes or something like that. I mean, depends on what you guys do. I mean, for all I can end this in 5 minutes. It depends on, if people have comments. If you want to ask about Ultimate Redemption, or if you're just tuning in now, what's been going on with the UWE as far as the future is planned for. If you want to ask about, superstars, whether it be Rick Rios, Lips, Cameron Jackson, Daisy, the Dirty Boys, whoever you have in mind, if you have any questions of, is this person going to be used, what's going to be going on with this person, is it going to be an Ultimate Redemption, I will let you know that. I won't give away all the storylines, but I will let you know exactly what's going on if you have any questions. Also, for fun questions, if you have any fantasy warfare, what's my opinion on, certain other things going on in the community. I know there's been rumors about me, going all over about, with Everett Crede. What's Everett Crede doing? Is he retired from Backyard Wrestling? Is he coming back to the UWE? Is Everett Crede going back to Caw? There's a lot of rumors just flying around, so I'll definitely be here to clarify anything you need to know about myself, the UWE, or any superstar involved for that matter. So any questions, definitely ask away. Cameron Jackson Entertainment. That's why I let New Jersey James handle my music, damn copyright. And the fact is, he's my cousin. Yes. New Jersey James is Cameron Jackson's cousin, and he is the composer for Cameron Jackson's theme song. And honestly, Cameron's had a lot of theme songs in the past, but this one by far is definitely my favorite. You know, I feel it fits the Cameron Jackson character better than any other theme song he's ever had. So, you know, I definitely, you know, agree with the fact that he has a song that isn't copyrighted. I mean, there's other superstars that do have copyrighted music. Even Lips has I Don't Like the Drugs by Marilyn Manson. But, you know, I don't really need superstars' themes to be edited into the show because they're heard live on the sound system. But there's a lot of superstars that don't have copyrighted music. The Dirty Boys. I don't even know who sings I don't even know who composes the Dirty Boys theme song. It's some kind of like uncopyrighted country rock singer or something like that. I don't even know. Cameron knows. He gave me the theme song. But there's been issues with copyright throughout the years, you know, and you know, there's some people we got to give credit to that have not copyrighted our stuff. Saliva. We used Saliva's theme song for Abomination, and they did not copyright us. We were editing, you know, Saliva, and we put the song into the show. They didn't copyright us. So I got to definitely give props to Saliva because we used their song In It to Win It for a pay-per-view theme, and they didn't copyright us. So big props to you guys, Saliva. Thank you very much. New Jersey James, thank you very much. And that's all I remember for people not copyrighting our stuff. So any other questions, definitely let me know. You know, I know there's a lot of other people in here as well. I'm going to refresh the page, see if any comments were left. Here we are, HBTW. How many themes has Crede had? LOL. And also, Dirty DeChico is here. That's good. How many theme songs has ever Crede had? Before now just UWE live on YouTube right now, I've had one. I've had The Night by Disturbed. In total, I've lost count. I mean, in UWE, I had the night before YouTube deal. I had The Night by Disturbed, The Hounds of Anubis by The Word Alive. I've had what else did I have? I had Let the Sparks Fly by Thousand Foot Crutch, and I think that was actually it as far as UWE theme. And then I had Rebirthing by Skillet as a babyface, but then I turned heel in like 2 weeks, so it didn't really matter. So that was pretty much, and then I had Ultra Numb by Blue Stahli, my mistake. So those are the things I had in the UWE. And then in TXW, I had Break the Walls Down, which was a remix of Chris Jericho's theme song. I've had, let me think. I've had Ultra Numb by Blue Stahli. I've had, what's the Kevin Steen theme song remixed by Adam Massacre. I had Nerve by, I don't even know what the name of the band is. They were uncopyrighted at the time. And that was really about it as far as the theme songs I've had. But the major theme songs people remember me the most by, it depends on the community. You know, it'll either be Break the Walls Down, The Night by Disturbed, Let the Sparks Fly by Thousand Foot Crutch, or Ultra Numb. So those are your big four. Break the Walls, Night, Sparks, Ultra Numb. Those are my big four. Right now I have The Night by Disturbed. Dirty DeChico. Our theme song is written by Dave's sister, uncle, cousin. Well, you know about those Dirty Boys. Cameron Jackson Entertainment. Hashtag push DeChico. And yes, I will push DeChico and his inbred brother until they leave me alone. So I don't know if Cameron is meaning to figuratively push DeChico as in make him a star, or to literally push DeChico like a kid on the playground. We'll find out on the next episode of Lockdown. You know. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'll give you guys a little bit of a spoiler alert. Next week on Lockdown, the main event will be a 6-man tag team match. That will be the main event of this week's episode of Lockdown. It will be a 6-man tag team match featuring, I'll even give this as an announcement because it doesn't really destroy any storylines, a 6-man tag featuring the Dirty Boys teaming up with Mr. Normal versus the Mind Game Mayhem, the Juggalos, known as Fat Jack and Shakur Shakavelli. My mistake. Hold on. My bad. Hold on. I messed up there. It is the Dirty Boys teaming up with Mr. Normal against one half of Mind Game Mayhem, one half of the Juggalos, Fat Jack, with Shakur Shakavelli in his corner, teaming up with the brother man with the master plan, Brother Cam, Cameron Jackson, and the reigning and defending UWE champion, Rick Rios. So in total, it will be Rick Rios, Fat Jack, and Cameron Jackson versus the Dirty Boys and Mr. Normal in a 6-man tag team match to main event the next episode of UWE Lockdown. So if you have any comments about that, leave them below. If Dirty the Chico and Cameron Jackson want to get into a little verbal warfare, let it happen. It's going to happen. These guys go absolutely insane. How many themes does Creed have? Okay. And Eon from Baron Bishop. Actually, Baron, you used Eon by Cell Dweller. I didn't. Dirty the Chico, how'd you like getting pushed by our truck cam? I enjoyed it. Weak-ass F-150, Baron Bishop against The Undertaker. Okay. I don't know what the whole thing is about The Undertaker, but last week on Lockdown, there was a major incident that took place where Cameron Jackson cost the match. There was a tag team match on Lockdown between the Dirty Boys and the Juggalos, also known as the Mind Game Mayhem. Fat Jack and Shakur Shakavelli had a tag team match against the Dirty Boys, and Cameron Jackson distracted Dirty the Chico, which allowed Fat Jack to gain the pinfall on Dave, and the Dirty Boys didn't take it too well when they took out Cameron Jackson after the match, and they took Jackson to the parking lot, dragged him onto the street, and actually ran his ass down with Dave's rundown Ford F-150. If you want to see this, go back, check it out on UWE Lockdown Episode 8. Cameron Jackson was attacked by the Dirty Boys after he distracted Dirty the Chico, which allowed Fat Jack to pin Dirty Dave. The Dirty Boys attacked Cameron Jackson and ran him down with Dave's truck, his Ford F-150 for that matter. Insane. It's unlike anything I've ever seen, not only in the UWE, but in backyard wrestling in general. You know, we're definitely getting a lot of uprising talent in the UWE. We have Mr. Normal, the artist formerly known as Eric. We have the Juggalos, as I like to call them. The Mind Game Mayhem, which is Fat Jack and Shakur Shakavelli. A very dominant tag team. These guys are two super heavyweights, two gigantic athletes that tells quite a story because Shakur Shakavelli has been here since day one. He's a UWE veteran, and now he's taken Fat Jack under his wing. And now Fat Jack is becoming a very potential, he's got a lot of potential, and he's becoming a breakout superstar in the UWE. And those two as a tag team could be quite a dominant force. Also, you have a lot of other breakout superstars that are becoming main event stars. You have Daisy, who is really breaching out as a top-tier UWE character. He's a persona unlike anything I've ever seen. Lips is one of the most talked-about personas in all of backyard wrestling. The Dirty Boys, becoming, quite frankly, the backyard wrestling tag team of the year, in my opinion. So we're definitely getting a lot of mainstream talent and a lot of breakout talent as well. Dirty DeChico comments, I'll tell you what, you keep asking for it, and I'll hit you a lot harder than the truck ever will. Please, I'll throw a beer in the other direction and watch you, your hillbilly brother, chase that son of a bitch. So as you can see, there's a lot of tension going on between Cameron Jackson and Dirty DeChico. So it's really starting to really branch out, and there's been a lot of heat between the CJE and the Trailer Park Trio with only two men. So the Trailer Park Duo, as I like to call them, the Dirty Boys, Dirty Dave and Dirty DeChico have definitely had their tension rising with Cameron Jackson to where you could cut it with a knife. If you haven't noticed, TJ Sakara has not been available since All Out Survival. I haven't seen TJ Sakara on Lockdown, and, you know, he didn't show up on the last episode of Lockdown, which I think played a big part why Cameron Jackson was ran down with any assistance. I mean, I know he was checked out in the paramedics, and I know Mikey Butendaro, who is the UWE Lockdown acting general manager, I know he was checking out Cameron Jackson as well. And there's been a lot of personnel in the back, a lot of faculty trying to see, you know, how big the risk is on Cameron Jackson's well-being. Because, I mean, if you get ran over by a truck, you're hurt. You know, you're going to be incapacitated and you're going to be taken out. And the Dirty Boys definitely did a number on Cameron Jackson, and I'm sure he's recovering from his wounds. I'm not sure how fast he will be recovering from his wounds, but he's going to more than likely have to show up for the six-man tag team match because that is the main event. Is Cameron Jackson going to be 100%? I highly doubt it, but as you can see, he looks like he's going to be returning on UWE Lockdown. It's going to be very, very interesting to see everything go down. Let me see here. They need a Dirty Cheek. What did I miss? What did I miss? I see a whole bunch of stuff. Please, I'll throw. Oh yeah, what did I miss? Cameron, don't be silly. You bring the beer, I bring the fried chicken, and we do this like men. So you could see, like I said, you could cut the tension with a knife. They need to hug it out. It's a bet, buddy. HBTW, Creed, who have you looked up to in professional wrestling? Now, I've had favorites in my life, but if there's anybody that I've actually looked up to as an idol in wrestling, it's probably going to be CM Punk. Because in high school, a lot of my friends kind of went down a pathway of, you know, they started drinking, they started smoking, they started, you know, doing a bunch of extracurricular stuff. Don't mind my stuttering. I haven't been on YouTube in a while, so, you know, with the whole computer crash. But, yeah, like a lot of people in my life are kind of going down a pathway that I didn't really want to go down. And not to mention I was going through a very harsh breakup at the time, and I was really hitting a depression. And then CM Punk, at the same time, would be cutting these straight-edge promos, saying that straight edge means you're better than everybody else. And he was cutting it like a heel, but it made me think about it, and it made me see, like, you know, maybe I do have something to become. Maybe I can, you know, build myself as a person by saying I'm going to be different from the rest. I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to smoke. I'm not going to do drugs. I'm not going to do weed. I'm not going to do all this stuff because I want to be healthy. I want to be pure, and I don't want to rely on drugs and alcohol to be social. I don't want to rely on drugs and alcohol to be this person that isn't really me. You know, I'm going to be myself, I'm going to be true to myself, and I'm going to be drug-free. And I feel if it wasn't for CM Punk, I really wouldn't be the man I am today. I mean, he has really influenced millions around the world with his straight-edge promos. People have become straight-edge because of CM Punk. I think before CM Punk, people didn't really know what straight-edge was. It was around in 1981, which was the era of partying. It was the rock and roll era where the only three things that mattered was drugs, sex, and rock and roll, and you're bringing in this straight edge thing, and it didn't really matter at the time. But now it's unique. Now it's all of a sudden becoming a trend because it's a different time. So if I had to think of anybody that I've actually looked up to in professional wrestling and that has actually made me feel better about myself and who I try to make myself out to be, CM Punk. You know, maybe not his morals as far as what he does with the management, but his social moral code is definitely something that has influenced me throughout my entire teenage lifestyle. So, there's a little insider you know about Everett Crede. Let me see. What's up, WKE? Who's your top 5 favorite WWE wrestlers? Well, as a kid... wait, who even asked that question? I think that was WBW. Yes, World Backyard Wrestling. I have a couple. I mean, when I was a kid, my first favorite, before I even got into wrestling, was Stone Cold Steve Austin, because my dad would always tell me as a kid, and that's the bottom line, and I'd always have to follow up with because Stone Cold said so. But then I started getting into wrestling, and my first favorite was The Rock. And then The Rock went to Hollywood right after because I was rooting for Rock against the whole Rock-Brock match at SummerSlam. And I was a kid at the time, so I was rooting for The Rock. And then The Rock left, and then I started becoming a fan of The Undertaker. And I was a fan of The Undertaker for 6 years. And I still am a fan of The Undertaker, but then I gravitated towards Chris Jericho. Then I gravitated towards CM Punk. Then I gravitated towards, The Miz. And, the list went on. But if I have to name, as of right now, my top 5 favorite WWE superstars, number 1 would have to be Bray Wyatt. That's, just because of the fact that he is such a dynamic character and that he really has what it takes to be around for a long time because he has the it factor. He has the dynamics of a character. He has a gimmick that I've never seen ever before done. This whole New Orleans Bayou presence to him, and the fact that he considers himself to be a Bayou standard. I don't know what else to say. I mean, he looks at himself as God, but yet he's got this whole presence to him with the Hawaiian shirt and the straw fedora and the Duck Dynasty look, but not really. But the way he talks like, I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's almost like Gandhi meets Charles Manson. It was just very, very twisted. And I love it because you can't really compare it to anything else. I mean, you really look at it as like a world leader. When I think of the most influential and the most powerful talkers, and I'm going to get a little bit of heat from this, but I'm not looking for the most loved. I'm talking about the most powerful talkers in the world. There's only certain names that come about. Martin Luther King, Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Gandhi, Liberace, and Bray Wyatt. I really look at it like that. Because Martin Luther King, what a powerful speaker he was. One of the most, if not the most powerful speaker. Because he's influenced the entire civil rights movement. And that is so strong. Adolf Hitler was the rise of one of the most powerful and one of the most discriminated and one of the most hated for, in my opinion, the right reason, cults of all time, which was the Nazis. But yet Adolf's voice and what he presented influenced millions. And I feel like Bray Wyatt is in a way doing the same thing as those world dictators once did, as once Joseph Stalin did, as Mussolini did, is that they're so villainous, but yet you followed their words because they were so powerful. And that's what Bray Wyatt is. And you see it when he comes out in that arena. The lights are out, but yet everybody's got their cell phone flashlight out because I know I did it when in Uniondale at a live event. And the whole crowd singing. He's got the whole world in his hands. They're all singing it because they're puppets in Bray Wyatt's game, and we don't even realize it. That's why I think Bray Wyatt's my favorite. My second favorite would have to be Goldust because talk about gimmick, right? It's not even a gimmick. It's just bizarre. Goldust was a character influenced on, Hollywood, and that he was this guy that had an infatuation with film. But yet, at the same time, he was androgynous. And you didn't know his sexual orientation because he would seduce his opponents to play mind games with them. But at the same time, he's playing the submissive game with Marlena. So you don't know what the hell he is. But he's weird, he's bizarre, he's got the makeup, and it was kind of like a precursor to so many characters, including his younger brother Stardust, and even people can even say including Lips. But Goldust, in my opinion, was definitely one of the most original characters I've ever seen. Number 3 on my favorite list would have to be The Undertaker, because Undertaker is just the most respected man in the WWE. And if you don't respect The Undertaker, you're not a wrestling fan. This guy has literally bent over backwards for this company. He's been there since the Monday Night War, and he's a locker room leader. So The Undertaker definitely, to me, is one of the most unique characters because he's the Madonna. He could switch up his character and yet stay to the tradition of his character, and that's one of the best things about The Undertaker. Number 4 would have to be Chris Jericho, because he knows how to talk on that mic, and he knows, once again, how to change his character. He knows how to be the most charismatic showman to appear in your living rooms via a television screen, and then he knows how to be Y2J. Then he knows how to be the best in the world at what he does. And he switches it, and it's so entertaining. And number 5 would have to be CM Punk, because of the reason I explained earlier, because I just looked up to him. So, as you can see, my top 5 favorite characters, I love them all for different reasons. All right, let's see what we got in the comments. Cameron Jackson Entertainment. Well, considering the fact that Creed's entrance is mirror image to CM Punk's. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, my entrance when I come out to the UWE is pretty much idolized off of CM Punk's. You know, the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu sweatshirt and the whole going down to one knee, doing the modified version of It's Clobbering Time. It really shows my respect to CM Punk. But I feel if I'm going to come back to the UWE, I'm going to pretty much have a repackaging. You know, I'm going to pretty much try to redo the entire entrance of Everett Crede, because I don't want people thinking I'm a CM Punk spinoff. Because I really don't see myself as one, but then again, based on what you people are seeing with the entrance, I could see how you see I am one. So I definitely got to, you know, change some things up with, you know, as far as the entrance is concerned, and come up with my own stuff. Because, yeah, I you know, idolize CM Punk, but I don't want Everett Crede to be the next CM Punk. I want to be known as the first Everett Crede. So, and that's only if, and a big if I ever go back to being in the UWE full-time as a UWE superstar. SES for the win. Yep, Straight Edge Society. What did I miss? Black Seth, what did you miss? Pretty much, you know, everything is back to what it is. We didn't miss anything really. Nothing has been erased. So the next episode of UW Lockdown will be up hopefully sometime next week, probably Monday, and then I want to upload Road to Destruction next week as well, probably on Wednesday. You know, it all depends on when I can get Cameron to do commentary with me for UW Lockdown, and then it all depends on editing and how long it's going to take to edit Road to Destruction, because I obviously work at a horse stable, so I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. And then on Saturday, I'm having some company come over from New Jersey, so that's going to be pretty fun. And then Sunday, we might be recording 4 episodes of UW Lockdown. So, you know, we're going to see how it all turns out. You could be perfectly healthy while drinking. Well, that's good to know, Baron. Can't say I like Punk, but the message is good. Stone Cold is the man. What's up, Heat DJ Vivo? So, yeah, I mean, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin definitely is one of somebody to remember. The reason why I love the Attitude Era so much is because of the fact that, you know, the rock and wrestling era had Hulk Hogan as the poster child. The current era has John Cena as the poster child. Attitude Era had 2. Attitude Era had Stone Cold and The Rock. So they both had to fight, and they pretty much put each other on the map as 2 of the best of all time. And that's the best thing about Stone Cold and The Rock, because they both made each other. You know, The Rock would not be The Rock without Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Stone Cold Steve Austin wouldn't be Stone Cold Steve Austin without The Rock. So that's the best thing about a rivalry. And there's a lot of people that compare any major feud in whether it would be, you know, the WWE or backyard wrestling or call wrestling to, oh, that's the Rock and Austin of this. And, you know, I really try to make, I mean, a lot of people are starting to say that Creed and Jackson is starting to become the Rock and Austin of backyard wrestling, which I feel very humbled by. You know, not only because of the fact that, you know, it's with Cameron, who is one of my best friends, but the fact that it's compared to 2 extraordinary superstars, you know, legends for that matter. That's a very huge accomplishment. And I feel the Bad Reed and Cage would also be considered a Rock and Austin of... Well, actually, if I'm going to be honest, I feel that more as the Rock and John Cena, because you have Cage, who is pretty much has been the franchise of backyard wrestling. He's like wrestling's past versus wrestling's future, which is the Bad Reed. It's almost like Hogan and The Rock. You have wrestling's past versus wrestling's future. So it is entertaining to see Cage and the Bad Reed go at it, and especially now with AK-47 in the mix, it really is going to create quite a twist in the backyard wrestling community. If you guys have any requests about what you want to see more in the UWE, if you want to see more of the Dirty Boys, if you want to see more of Rick Rios, if you, God forbid, want to see more of Lips or Cameron Jackson, definitely let me know. I definitely appreciate all fan incomes and inputs and opinions as well. I can't say I like Punk, but the message is good. Hey, for the plug-in promotion, follow me on Twitter at CJE_ButterCam. I would love to see one more Rock versus Stone Cold match. I definitely would. I was just telling my little brother about that earlier. We were watching the best feuds of all time, and I said people still want to see Rock Austin 4. Yes, for anybody that is new to this, you could follow the UWE at UWEHD, all capitals. You could follow Cameron Jackson at CJE_BrotherCam, all capitals. You could follow myself at Self Supremacy, only capital S's. Dirty DeChico, you could follow at DeChico737, no capitals. So that's pretty much as far as the UWE talent is concerned. I'm not really going to plug in any other Twitter accounts on the UWE because you ain't here. So, but once they come on Twitter, once they really start going out there, I know TJ Sakara has been doing some stuff on Twitter. He's been promoting change. Change is coming to the UWE. Agenda X. If you follow TJ on Twitter, I think it's like at CJE, TJ Sakara, something like that. He's been tweeting about change. He's been messaging UW superstars about change and Agenda X, and it's starting to become a trend now, and we don't know what it is. Nobody knows what this Agenda X thing is, so we should find that out on the road to redemption. Or maybe even at the grandest stage of them all. You never know. The only person that does know is the body of bewilderment, which is TJ Sakara. So that's going to be, we'll see what happens with that. And then HBTW, the Bad Reed is a spoiled brat, nothing more, nothing less. Whew. Well, that's, definitely opinions being thrown out there. I mean, I'm not going to share any negative opinions on anybody because that's not what I'm about. I'm not, once I get on character, that's a different story. Then I'm going to be shooting everybody down to the bottom of the totem pole. But once I'm on here, I don't really give anybody a bad vibe. There's certain people that I think are very talented in the backyard wrestling community, and I also think there's other people that are overrated. I'm not going to tell you who they are, but I feel once you see me on camera, that's when you're going to know, okay, that's where he gets to his character, and that's where he's a real arrogant prick as a character. I don't really like showing that as a person, because, as a person, I like to keep the character off in real life. That's Everett Crede is a character. That's not really who I'm not an arrogant jerk in real life, or at least I'm not anymore. It depends on who you ask, but that's a different story. But I try to be nice, especially with anybody that's tried to be nice to me. The Bad Reed has always been good to me, and for that I'm always going to be good with him. Jason Walker, the same goes for him as well. If you treat me good, I'll treat you good. You treat me bad, I won't mention on these stuff, but just wait till we get on camera because I'm going to tear you to shreds. But that's a different story. Well, Everett Crede will. Lips don't give a shit. Lips is just about what pleases himself. Very weird guy. I don't know why. Whoever plays him is a very weird person for that matter. Anyway, let's see. Here we go. Follow me. Hashtag fight, drink dirty. Hell yeah, Dirty DeChico. Show him the character. Baron Bishop, feeling on JR's contract being done today. I am depressed. I am sad. Because JR, in my opinion, is the best commentator of all time. And I'm not just talking wrestling. I'm talking commentator, just commentating in general. He's the best. Because Jim Ross will keep your eyes on the screen, and you will not be able to take your eyes off of the screen. With God as my witness, he is broken in half, will go down as the best quote in wrestling commentary of all time. Enough said. Dirty DeChico, TJ's only agenda is his, oh, wow. Well, Dirty DeChico, as you can see, the Dirty Boys, a lot of tension going on between the Dirty Boys and CJE for that matter. TJ Sakara has been absent for a couple of weeks, so we're trying to figure out what's the bottom line with that. Well, at least you're honest. I respect that. Well, yeah, I mean, I just feel that way. If you're going to treat me good, I'm going to treat you good. And I'll definitely treat anybody. I mean, if somebody else has an opinion of you, it's not going to change my opinion. If Bob doesn't like Steve, but they both get along with me, I'm both getting along with them. So, it doesn't change anything. I've had the bad read on this before. I'd love to have Jason Walker on this show. I would love to have, I'd love to have anybody on the show, whether it be Mark Williams, Adrenaline, Baron Bishop. I would love to have one time. It doesn't matter. Tyler Emerson, Mark Williams. I think I said Mark Williams twice. I'm not even sure. Let's see. UW, yes. Cameron Jackson Entertainment puts down all the UWE accounts that I have actually missed. You could follow our UWE champion at UWE Rios. You could follow Daisy now at Fearful Phenom, which I find very interesting because Daisy's a man of little words, but now apparently he's quite the tweeter. You could follow TJ Sakara at CJE TJ Sakara. You could follow Nick Somas at UWE_Iceman, and you can follow Dirty DeChico at DeChico737. All the spelling and the punctuation is in Cameron Jackson's comment. By God King, that's another amazing quote by Jim Ross, who is definitely, if I have to also say, I know somebody asked the question, who is one of your most influential, like, who inspired you to be, like, what WWE superstars have you looked up to the most? As a wrestler, I'd say CM Punk, but as a commentator, in other ways, I would say Jim Ross. Jim Ross has been a huge influence on my life in commentary. Excuse me. I feel like I just burnt up gasoline, Oh, God. Not good. But, anyway. Like I said, Jim Ross has been a huge influence on my, on commentary throughout my life because I always wanted to do commentary. I always wanted to do that, and now I actually have a radio show. I have a radio show at Five Towns College, and you could actually listen to my shows throughout the fall and the spring on WFTU. I'll tell you more about that when the time comes, but, I go on at like Wednesdays at noon, but that's, I'll let you know more about the radio show once the time comes around that. So you don't have to worry about that right now. But as you see, the voice of WWE over the years, absolutely, Jim Ross, one of the greatest on the mic. I really am amazed by the work he has put in with the WWE, and I'm very amazed by that. As far as the UWE goes, I really want to make Jack Thomas and Dale Peppers the best commentary team. I don't want people to say Jack Thomas is the best commentator of all time. I don't want people saying that. I don't want people saying Jack Thomas is the best backyard wrestling commentator. I want people to say that Jack Thomas and Dale Peppers are the best commentating team in backyard wrestling, because it takes two to tango, not only in wrestling but in commentary as well, unless your name is Joey Styles. But it takes two. And even though Dale Peppers wouldn't be Dale Peppers without Jack Thomas wouldn't be Jack Thomas without Dale Peppers. They're an incredible team, and I feel if it wasn't for those two commentators, UWE would not be what it is today. Commentary makes or breaks a show. So that's my intake on the UWE. Who do I feel is the most important superstar in the UWE? It's not even the wrestler. It's the two men behind the booth. It's Jack Thomas and Dale Peppers, because they tell you the story. When the wrestlers tell you the story, they also tell you the story. But there's a lot of times where the wrestlers will fail to tell the story, including myself. But commentary will always tell you the story, and they will keep you entertained. And if they don't, then they're not doing their job, and that makes the product unwatchable. Because God knows how many times I've watched a wrestling league, whether it be backyard or call or professional for that matter, and commentary I'm just kind of like, I'm not into it. You know, it's too boring. It's just either they don't know what the hell they're talking about or they're not exciting. You know, and it's not just backyard wrestling, and it's not just, the professionals do it too. TNA is the best. I can't stand Mike Tenay. I think Mike Tenay is so. He's like the Al Michaels of wrestling commentary. I just want to. Oh my God! I just want to hit myself in the head with a hammer just so I can not hear Mike Tenay commentate. And giving him tags was much worse. And it's just like, it's just not good. It's not good commentary. And I can't watch TNA, man. I can't do it. It's just not my style. I put entertainment first. It's an entertainment field first and a wrestling field second, and that's what TNA doesn't realize. You think WWE's losing money? TNA don't have money. So that's my intake on the pros right now. Let's see what we got. I've done that. It will be light, but as of right now, JBL is an amazing heel on commentary, but the duo is always Batman. The duo there is always a Batman and Robin. Did you watch any backyard wrestling leading up to what you do currently? Yes, Dale Peppers and Jack Thomas, my faves, and that is unbiasedly biased. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, they're my favorite because I feel they keep you entertained. It's unbiasedly biased. Yeah, I play Jack Thomas. Yes, Cameron plays Dale Peppers. But do they tell the story? Yeah, they do. You know, that's how I feel. Little ego just came out. I do apologize. Did you watch any backyard wrestling leading up to what you do currently? Absolutely not. I actually did not watch any backyard wrestling before I started the UWE. I knew backyard wrestling was out there, but I actually did not watch any backyard wrestling that influenced me to do it. The WWE influenced me to do backyard wrestling. My friends have influenced me to do backyard wrestling. You want to actually know a funny fact? The founders of the UWE and the two people that decided, let's do the UWE, was myself and Battery Walsh. If you don't know who Battery Walsh is, look at the UWE Premiere Part 1. And Battery Walsh, believe it or not, is the guy that has come up with, okay, let's do the UWE. That happened in the spring of 2011. And we had 6 people. And 4 of them are still in the UWE today, which is myself, Cameron Jackson, TJ Sakara, and Rick Rios. Everybody else is kind of either up and left, or they're on sabbatical, they're on break, or they haven't come in at the time. But, you know, the main 4 that have been here since day 1 of UWE is myself, Cameron Jackson, Rick Rios, and TJ Sakara. Those are the originals. Those are the 4. You know, those are the 4 that have been here since day 1. And then our first uploaded show, which I really consider, there's been a couple people there. Shakur Shakavelli, Nick Somas, Terrence Phillips was there. I don't remember really anybody. I think those are the main 3 that came in around that time, was Shakavelli, Terrence Phillips, and Nick Somas. Anybody else hasn't really, you know, been there full time, but those 3 have definitely been the other 3 as well. Michael Cole is the reason the commentary sucks. If you were asking me this about 6 months ago, I'd say absolutely. And I still think Michael Cole can never fill the shoes of Jim Ross, but I do not mind the commentary of 3. I don't mind the 3-man commentary team because JBL makes it good and they have good chemistry together. Not as good as JR and the King, but Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, and JBL do a very good job. I'll give them it. They do a good job with telling the story, and they have fun out there. And as crazy as that sounds, that's what matters the most. You need to have fun when you do commentary. It's actually a demand. You have to have fun. Because if you don't have fun, that's how you sound boring. When it makes it look like a job, that's what makes it sound boring. Why does Jack Thomas and Dale Peppers sound so good? Because we're having fun commentating it. And we have a good time, we have good laughs, and that's what makes us entertaining, and it tells an amazing story. It makes you want to be there. It's like Seinfeld. It's like Friends. You want to be at the table with Jack Thomas and Dale Peppers goofing off, but yet doing their job. And that's the best part about that duo. All right, let's see what we got. See what we got here. Yeah, so that's pretty much. I mean, you know, right now I'm just kind of in the process of editing, you know, stuff, whether it be Road to Destruction or Lockdown. Lockdown just needs commentary done, and then, you know, that's up and going. And then Road to Destruction I'm going to edit now. I'm going to, you know, see what I can get done out of that. I'll be up a little bit later, and I'll just be, you know, trying to do some editing and all that. You know, obviously editing some effects, you know, doing some things with the Charybdis Chamber, the nameplates, you know, all that stuff, the Twitter scores, you know, just all that kind of stuff I want to definitely get down, jot down. Pretty much what I'm going to do is, as far as the Twitter accounts, I mean, Charybdis Chamber I'm not going to do any because I'm going to do entry 1, entry 2. You know how the nameplates work. It's the name on top and then the subtitle below. I'm just going to do the entry names below, so, you know. But if you do have a Twitter account, I'm going to promote it. If you don't have a Twitter account, you're just going to get a regular nameplate. So that's pretty much that. So before I sign off, if there's any last comments, questions, concerns, if you're wondering what's going on with any UW superstar for that matter, definitely, most certainly, question below. If you have any questions about the Crede cast, I'll definitely answer that as well. So I'm going to sign this one off around 10:15. Yeah, actually, you know what? No, I got to go a little earlier because I'm probably going to have to do it around 10 o'clock. I mean, but if there are any questions, then I'm going to answer away. But if not, I'm going to sign off at 10 o'clock because I got to edit Road to Destruction. You know, I haven't had this computer in 3 days because of the crash, so I definitely got to get back on the game. But, you know, you guys got the 2-minute warning. If you have any questions, definitely leave below. I'm going to be checking around like 10:01, 10:02 because I know it takes a while before the feed comes in with the questions. So, any questions, you know, thoughts, comments, or concerns, definitely, you know, ask away. And Jack Thomas and Dale Peppers will not only just be the UW commentary. My mistake. I'm not reading too well. And Jack Thomas and Dale Peppers will not only just be, damn it! And Jack Thomas and Dale Peppers will be not only just the UW commentary team soon. Hashtag just wait. That took a while to read. That was like a novel. Yeah. And if you get bored, I might be up for talking. Well, that's good. But, you know, like I said, if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, anything like that, definitely ask away. You know, I definitely appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, none of the videos got erased, so we're going to be pretty much, the next time we're up on YouTube, it's going to be the next episode of UWE Lockdown, which will be UWE Lockdown Episode 9. And like I discussed, it will be a 6-man tag team match that will main event Lockdown. It will be one half of the Juggalos. It will be Fat Jack with Shakur Shakavelli in his corner, teaming up with Cameron Jackson and UWE champion Rick Rios versus both members of the Dirty Boys and Mr. Normal. So that's what we got for that. Clock strikes 10 o'clock. I'm going to wait like a little bit just to see if any questions come in with with the lag. You know, if there's any questions, I will be more than happy to answer. Let's see what we got. I'm going to freshen the page here. Baron Bishop, where did Litz come from? Wow, they really gave me, that's a great question. It's funny, I was just thinking about that last night. Where did Litz come from? Actually, this could be the last question. So, where did Litz come from? Me and Cameron were watching an episode of the Powerpuff Girls to kind of like live on, like, you know, kind of go back to some childhood memories because, you know, we had the same childhood. We were in the 90s, and we just loved those 90s cartoons. And the Powerpuff Girls, believe it or not, attracted both a female and a male audience. I'm actually bonding with my little cousin, little Bella. She's about, like, I don't know, she's like 8 or 9 years old now. And, you know, me and her, like, you know, she's really cool, and I love spending time with my little cousin. You know, but, you know, she's a little girl, so it's kind of, like, hard to, like, bond when, you know, I'm a 20-year-old guy, I'm a backyard wrestler, and then you got, you know, a 9-year-old girl that loves, you know, Barbies and all that stuff. So I'm thinking, how am I going to, you know, create a bond? Well, the Powerpuff Girls was a great show. I'll get her into it. And now she always asks me, you know, when are we watching the Powerpuff Girls? So going back to the lips thing, we were watching the Powerpuff Girls, and the character that really came to us the most, and the one that we recognized more than any other, was this Satan-like creature, known as Him. And Him was this character that really reached out to any age demographic, because kids were afraid of him because he looked like the devil. He had the red face with the pointy ears, and he had the devil-like claws. But the adults were afraid of him because they weren't sure of his sexuality. You know, he had the black lipstick, the pink blush. He wore this red dress with a pink tutu, and he wore these long black high heel boots. And it was just such a demonic transvestite. And I realized, I was thinking to myself, what if I created a character like that in wrestling? And all of a sudden, you know, people know me from the Call community as well, and Lips was originally a Call superstar, and people really saw the connection between Lips and him, but also Lips had a lot of other personas as well. And it just added such a twist to the character. So instead of wearing a red dress with a tutu, he wore a fishnet leotard. And then in Backyard Wrestling, he wears the vinyl vest. He wears the crimson mask face paint with the black the eyeliner, and the, you know, just really looking like Satan's gay brother, if you will. And the best thing about Lips is that you can interpret his sexual orientation and you wouldn't be wrong about it. You could look at him as any way. You could see Lips as a homosexual, and that he's viewed as the devil's work. That homosexuality is the work of the devil. Because, you know, if you really look back at the biblical times, God saw homosexuality as the devil's work. And a lot of people that are religious see homosexuality as a very immoral thing. And do I share that opinion? I feel, you know, people should be what they be, but this is a character. And if Lips is a homosexual, it's a stereotype saying that homosexuality is the work of the devil. You can even see him as somebody that's straight, you know, somebody that's a heterosexual and that's a submissive. You know, because originally we were going to bring him in as, you know, we were going to bring in this character with a female mistress, and she was going to be a dominatrix, and, you know, Lips was going to be a submissive. And, you know, if you don't know what that means, you know, it pretty much means you like being abused in a relationship. And that's, you know, what Lips likes. Or you could even say Lips doesn't have sexual emotions. Lips, you know, is completely turned on by pain. That's his sexuality. He hasn't felt sex, so he sees pain as amusement, and he likes it. And you could look at it as any other way. You could see him as, you know, straight, bi, gay, or he doesn't even know what the hell he is, and you wouldn't be wrong. The character is a complete mystery to where I don't even know. I really don't. The character has a mind of its own, and when I snap into the character, I feel like I'm not even myself anymore. It's weird. It's just, I become Lips, and it's just something completely different. You know, it just feels like I'm not even Everett anymore. I feel like I'm Lucius Isaac Preston Smith. I feel like I'm Lips. I'm actually the character. And I don't even know if Lips, what his sexuality even is. He's androgynous, he's a freak show, and he enjoys pain. And he enjoys the fact of being abused by other wrestlers because he finds that to be his pleasure. And the sickest thing about the character is that he's demonic and evil either way. He's either cunning or he's a deviant. Because either one, he's straight, but yet acts gay to mentally bring down and psyche his other opponents, or he's a homosexual and he takes advantage of the other people for his own pleasures. So either way, Lips is evil. That's the best way to describe Lips. If you really want a bio on Lips, that's the best way to say it. He's either straight and he's cunning, and he will portray a homosexual character to mentally incapacitate his opponents because he's cunning, or he's a homosexual and he takes advantage of other people's uncomfortability for his own sexual pleasures. And that's a very evil, sadistic character through my eyes. So that's Lips. That's pretty much the whole idea of Lips. So if there is any other characters, if there's any other questions, I'll definitely answer them on. I'm actually going to wrap it up here because, I think that whole bio of Lips is going to probably give a lot of people nightmares tonight, and they're going to see Lips in their bedside. So, I'm going to end it on that. I'm going to end it on the bio of Lips because, I love talking about the guy because it's a character I created last year, and it's definitely taken on a whole new level of interest. But, yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it. So the next time we will be here on YouTube, it will either be the next edition of the Credecast, but I am trying my best, and more than likely what's going to be next to you here on YouTube on the UWHD account will be the next episode of UWE Lockdown Episode 9. So make sure to definitely tune in. Actually, one more thing before I go. Road to Destruction. I will let you people know who is in the Charybdis Chamber match right now. Because, unfortunately, there's been a lot, and if people have logged off, make sure they tune in and watch this. The people that have stayed on, you're in for a treat. But there's been a lot of people that have no-showed, and that's a big buzzkill. So I will let you know right now what's going on for Road to Destruction. As already announced, you will see Nick Somas go one-on-one with Daisy. That's already written and done. You will also hear an announcement from Lips. Lips will be making an announcement concerning what he will be doing at Ultimate Redemption, which is our biggest show of the year. So you will be hearing an announcement from Lips. You will also be hearing, you will also be witnessing Nick Somas versus Daisy, and there will be other matches to follow as well. But the Charybdis Chamber, I will let you know right now who is actually going to be in that match. Rick Rios obviously is in the match because he is defending his championship. He will be defending his championship inside of the Charybdis Chamber for the World Championship against Cameron Jackson, against Fat Jack, against Shakur Shakavelli, against TJ Sakara. And I believe I'm actually missing somebody. I do apologize. Let me check. There's Rick Rios, Cameron Jackson, TJ Sakara. Yes. I forgot. I remember who it is now. Cameron Jackson, TJ Sakara, Rick Rios, Shakur Shakavelli, Fat Jack, and Dirty Dave from the Dirty Boys. That is your six-man Charybdis Chamber, and the winner of that match will go on to face Nick Somas in the main event of Ultimate Redemption for the World Heavyweight Championship. Rick Rios is going in as the champion. Will he walk out as the champion? Tune in at Road to Destruction next week to find out. So, at Road to Destruction, there will be other matches announced as well on the next episode of Lockdown. I don't want to spoil them right now. And there will also be impromptu matches to take place as well. But the one thing the things that you could definitely expect at Road to Destruction is Daisy versus Nick Somas, Lips' announcement concerning his opponent at Ultimate Redemption, because Lips will not be in the Charybdis Chamber. And Rick Rios will face TJ Sakara, Cameron Jackson, Shakur Shakavelli, Dirty Dave, Fat Jack. And I keep feeling like I forget somebody every time. Either way, you know the chairman of this chamber. I mentioned everybody. Rick Rios, Cameron Jackson, TJ Sakara, Dirty Dave, Fat Jack, and Shakur Shakavelli. So there you have it. This is Everett Crede signing out. We will definitely see you at UWE Lockdown, and we hopefully will give you UWE Lockdown as soon as possible. And next week we will also give you Road to Destruction. Welcome to the Road to Redemption.